standing right now with Coach Alex. Alex, I gotta say, I was sweating, and I pretty much feel like the rest of Pacific was too. At what point do you feel like the tide was turning in your favor at that map?
I think it was incredibly back and forth, honestly. I think if I had to say one moment, it would be when Moniet won his 1v1 with Sheriff against Patitek. I think did wonders for his confidence, you know, in ours as well. So that's probably the most crucial point of the game.
Well, I think Pacific's awake now, so let's see if you guys can close it up.
Mika was worried about Pacific. I guarantee you Achilleo somewhere is losing all his hair right now with the way things are turning out. What a game that was. And honestly, I'm just going to flat out say it. PRX just pulled that out of their ass.
Yeah, I mean, they absolutely did. Lovers of good, honest Valorant screaming and crying at present moment. Because honestly, Team Heretics should have won this map, but they lost a few critical ecos. They couldn't come through on their pistols, and PRX pull off the most PRXy win possible, relying so much on individual plays, on magic, but they make it happen.
Well, this is it. They've always been able to, but without Jing, who knew if we'd see the same explosive style out of them. Here, though, a back-and-forth battle, as you heard from Alex. Doesn't feel like it was anyone's game right off rip. It was down to the wire, but in the end, I think the better team won from what we saw. I loved Something's use of Gecko. I mean, I think everybody should be playing.
Did you love Something's use of?
Yeah, everybody should be playing Gecko the way Something
No.
does.
He was barely using his Disney. He was offing the majority of rounds. He was barely using his utility. He's just shooting them. It's like he could be playing any agent. They're not even doing the KO Gecko combos most rounds. I'm the lover of honest.
He's going to use the op on.
All right.
Yeah, Chamber.
Enough of this.
Sage! They have a Sage in their comp!
Cállate, Mimi. Let's go to the Verizon high-speed moment of the match.
Love that.
It's going to be mind-free.
My mind is free.
Yeah. Yes, it is. But listen here, man. The magician pulled one from the hat again here, man. This guy, I will never. This guy keeps on impressing. I mean, I've always been a big fan of Mind Freak, so it's good to see him really just continuing to flourish here. But I still cannot believe PRX pulled off this win. Like, it was looking tragic, Mitch, at certain points in time.
PRX made the right decision. This is a roster that for the longest time had this rule that they don't make more than one roster change at a time. And I heard talking behind the scenes a little bit, hopefully not leaking too much, that Mind Freak was always on the chopping block with the one other player. Every time they made a decision, it was do we drop this player or Mind Freak? And every single time, Mind Freak survived. And now he's grown into this player that's recognized as one of the best in the world. And we said it was a close game all the way. Well, he certainly pulled it through in a couple of those rounds, like the high-speed moment. It's infectious.
We got there. You know, everyone's got a frog in their throat apparently today. But for now, though, let's actually hear what Nilzinho had to say as we get ready for map number 2. Mika standing by.
Hey guys, I'm standing right now with Nilzinho from Team Heretics. Nilzinho, give us a preview. What did you tell the boys in order to get their mental back into the game, especially after that map 1, and get them ready for Lotus?
Yeah, so for me, it's been our map.
So fast. Are you ready?
I think the boys are feeling pretty crisp individually. You've seen it from some of the shots that we're hitting. The reason we lost that was our fundamentals just went out the window, and you do that again against a team like PRX, they're going to pick you apart. So it was a very harsh reminder to get our fundamentals back and listen to Boo, because he kind of lost control there because everyone's doing their own thing. They're running around taking aim fights, and our macro just completely, it was abandoned. So that's why we lost the attack, and we're going to change that for Lotus. So.
Well, the crowd's on your side, so let's see if Team Heretics can make a comeback.
I think Neil's on the money there. For most of that map, it seemed like Team Heretics had control. Their retakes in the first half were looking clean. They were playing the structured Valorant that we always expect from them. But
PRX everywhere that they wanted him to be.
Absolutely. But like Josh was mentioning on the cast, once you give this PRX team space, or once you give them opportunities, they will push all the way through. They will shut you down. They make it so much harder to go for that set, honest Valorant that Team Heretics have really perfected through this season thus far. And that puts them in a brutal position now, GB, heading into Lotus, a map away from elimination for this team who we were just talking about is one of the best in the tournament with that close loss to Sen.
Which is honestly mind-blowing to think about. W Gaming truly living and breathing here in that first map. But the thing is, though, is that you got to put that first map aside, Mitch. Now you got to focus on map 2, Lotus, and we'll see what we end up getting as far as the agents are concerned here. Don't really expect too much shenanigans, but I think ultimately this is really just a Heretics team that now is going to be feeling the heat on that stage.
Absolutely, and we mentioned Mindfreak a lot. His Viper is good, his Omen is even better, and we expect him to be switching over to that here on Lotus, having already fired off on all cylinders. I think he's about to add another one. This could be dangerous for Heretics, because I've seen the side of PaperX snowball before, and I'm starting to feel it this time.
Yeah, and it was a close game that Heretics lost on this map against Sentinels. I think their biggest issues on their defense was that Sentinels was fighting forward into smokes, getting ahead of their retakes and really punishing them. But it has been a stronghold map for this squad for quite a while. Looking at the agent select now, thankfully, something playing Jet. I don't like a double duelist comp.
I was going to ask you about
PaperX.
I was going to ask you about the double duelist. What do you make of that, Mitch?
I certainly prefer the Jet over Arena, which is what he's been running before. Although, considering that it is something, again, he's one of those players that could make the argument for it. But I think this composition, it can allow them to go back to that dive that they're so goddamn good at. The pressure is going to be applied to Heretics from the second those barriers go up.
You're sacrificing the Viper, so on your attacking side, you tend to be a lot more telegraphed on these hits, and you're sacrificing that second initiator, which means re-clearing is hard. Heretics, a chance to stay alive here in map number 2.
All I know is this joint's going to be insane, and I just want to jump back into it. Let's see if we get a map 3. Brent, Sideshow, you take it away from me.
Exciting one here for Lotus, isn't it? My goodness, a lot on the line in this elimination game. Heretics, but their backs against the wall. Listen, the crowd might be behind them, but listen, all the spawn in the world sometimes can withstand against the W key, which PaperX they know perfectly well at the back of their hands.
So when we saw Heretics play against Sentinels, Neil talked to them after map 1, map 2, they came out destroyed. Have Heretics tightened up those fundamental plays?
What they felt like was missing here. One-way smoke boot. Just tucks himself behind. He got plenty of backup right behind him now, but PaperX, I don't like the sight of it.
They do not like it. As soon as that one-way was put down, they're like, nah, we are not going down. A very greedy turret there, being placed by Benji, letting them know if anybody's over towards A at all.
And they don't care about a util either, disrespecting it. Alarm bot triggered. I mean, listen, not even worried about the protocols for clearing through tree. They're only just doing it now.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit... Oh, here we go. They're going for an aggressive post plan as well.
Trip broken immediately, one way up through. So Nathan set this up as soon as the first wave is going to be sent flying from Heretics.
Heretics played every single defense round on Sunset as a retake.
They're all going stairs.
And doing the same again here.
They're all going stairs. I don't think PaperX are ready for this one at all. Look at this. They have to try and fight them forwards. They're dashed by something. Damage done. Look at that. No kills collected. It's all being filled up in the feed, full of green. And greedy maybe perhaps is what you would describe it for PaperX. Trying to play that one. Just misreading what kind of timing they can take.
That is a great retake setup, though, from Heretics. Most of the top teams that we see play do put the pressure over towards Heaven. If you think back to how Sentinels play the post-plant setups as well, same one-way, a duelist in position up towards there, somebody playing pit. And usually there's going to be a pretty heavy denial in that area. And Rian's just wanders in.
Yep.
I mean, he has such a free passageway to the site based on the utility that they throw from tree. And yeah, Alex, head in hands there at the gap that's developed. And remember, last time we saw PaperX invest into this kind of round. They went for some kind of force after losing the follow-up, but deciding not to go for a force buy here.
Ooh. Whoa, chances there.
Yeah, very risky timing to go for, actually. You got to be worried on timings like that.
All up, all down. Marshall in the hands of something. Point pistol round though for Heretics 2 of 1. Didn't end up winning any of them in that prior map. It's part of the reason why PaperX were able to take it. You know they were losing in some of the other metrics.
Cover going out.
Okay, hell of a kill.
Yeah, that's just a peek from Paddytech, punished.
Trailblazer spotted that, so Benji, he's noted. He is going to be playing onto that corner. 62 health, won't go down to a single shot of the Sheriff, but the Marshal might do it. Has to back away from this surely. Still. Tucks himself, but now backing away, respecting with a flash in his face. Out over the top, crouching and praying. You don't get your head taken off.
Another retake round for Heretics. Every single defense round in this match so far.
Have executes for it. Mosh pit. We're going to be landing towards the back of the sides of flash forwards. Miniboo's already there. Smokes cutting up all the available angles. Mindfreak Sheriff still not dissuaded. Beautiful flash. Forsaken. He's called himself 2. 93 health though. He's working with a bit of a disadvantage. Spike over the top. No way. Oh, just expecting the movement, predicted with almost ease and finesse. And it's just a repeat of that first map, except on the other side of things. PRX winning the eco.
I think the big read there is that he doesn't go to try to break the wingman immediately.
Yeah.
And so Rians just thinks that he's not facing the wingman at all. Completely misunderstanding where Forsaken was repositioned to. And that's
cerebral stuff, man.
But I mean, that's devastating for Heretics again. Nilzinho is going to be screaming.
Fans are too, apparently. Here we are. Exchange of the util, skirmish time. Paranoia. Flying.
Stun misses.
Stun missing. Classics. Still want to take it with the rifles. There's a lot of danger here, but okay, might just be able to bail themselves out. Benji forwards into corner, locked down. Something.
Spike down A.
With something. It's going to be handy with the guns in his hands. Doesn't matter what he's got.
Couple weak players, but a 1v3 for Paddy to try to take when he's only got that Heretics classic.
And yeah, just going to be watching for the smokes and Mindfreak. Shuts down any available options, any weaknesses there.
And so, again, Brent, I mean, this is actually one of the first rounds where we see Heretics not playing for the retake, right? They're actually fighting over rubble control at the start of the round. But I'm worried because in most of these rounds, they are just giving PRX the plant. And I don't think that that's a feasible way of being able to play 100% of the time. Doesn't matter how good your retakes are, you're not going to win them all. Yeah. You're going to give PRX too many advantages with the clock on their side once they get the spike down. And their positioning, able to adjust. Let's see what they end up doing here. Ult starting to get online. Seekers could be potentially large, and something has it on.
Hello. Yeah, he uses the smoke to cross here. There are many players waiting for this, but he has the dash to get himself out of there. Disengages forwards. It's the call going to be made here by Forsaken, using the Seekers now on top of him. Molly at the feet there through the door. Padatek, a few stray bullets. Moniette was fast through with that satchel. One more, two hands. Going to be using it to try and cut himself up onto the gap, but it's a good call by Heretics, or at least it was. Topple in the end. Two of them just trying to fight the one section of the site. Now backside control. Game for Meunier, but he is alone. Wingman down and out here, just spamming randomly with the bullets, going all over the place. Mini boot doesn't stand a chance of getting that trade.
And if Nilzinho was worried about the fundamentals, again, he is not going to be impressed in that situation. Wingman goes out to clear one side of it. Miniboo still has slide available. They don't go for a double push through the smoke to try to make sure they can trade anybody who might be playing over towards the pit or the box. Rians just jumps out the smoke on his own.
Discipline is slipping.
It is, and this is one of the biggest things actually that has powered both of the EMEA teams through so much success. And if you can't hold it together when the pressure is on, you aren't going to be able to make it deep in tournaments like this.
It's never been on more than this. Heat up to max, it's elimination. Keep reminding everybody at home because sometimes the format can get confusing. But yeah, that play, I mean, listen, that call just collapse onto the one section of the site, almost goes their way. They get blinded up in the process, but...
Yeah. And Divide finding big value out of playing solo Initiator Sky, something that most teams have moved away from. This looks like Miniboo wants to take a timing. He goes for this kind of flash peek, looking to try and take a fight really early on with a smoke. He's normally good for it. He's just been so sharp.
Go for it again. There it is. Plenty more where that came from, Miniboo.
So good.
Yeah, rings true.
But on the other side of the map, Boo tries to fight solo over towards Mound, dies. That opens up the C site. And it's only Miniboo that has a rifle online. Look how quick something is to get into position.
Twists and turns, but he has to adjust here. Surely there's a high-low goal. What is happening over here? Okay.
For apparently no reason, Mindfreak is taking a 1v2 and winning it because he has the rifle and you don't.
Yeah, why not? Rians, by the way, got life out, but okay. Only had the sheriff anyway.
And Miniboo, who opened it up, is now asked to ace in order to close it if there was any chance of being able to win the Thrifty, which it doesn't look like there is.
Yeah, all over the place.
And again, I think a lot of people are going to be thinking to themselves, right, we were just waiting for PRX to wake up. But they have had some rough tournament showings in the past.
Slow start for 2023.
Yeah, absolutely. But on the other side of things, I feel like a result like this, if it continues spiraling out of control, is gutting for Heretics, because they were only a few rounds away, as the desk was saying at the beginning of this match, from putting Sentinels in this kind of position.
Yeah.
And we saw, if they're having close games against Sentinels, and they were the first team to be able to qualify through the playoffs, they should be able to be considered favorites in a matchup like this, you would think, with the current form of PRX.
Surely.
But so much of the pressure that PRX provides with their willingness to take fights and their pace is catching Team Heretics off and opening up cracks that other teams have not been able really to exploit.
Yeah. You know, PRX, public enemy #1 for the armchair analyst. It's already been through that whole spiel, don't get me wrong, because
you
the
get shot.
they play, yeah, you get shot, you die, Mind Freak, classic example, thank you for showing me. And, you know, they don't play Orthodox comps most of the time. This is maybe the closest you can get, but they don't even play double controller here on Lotus.
No.
But it's about the tempo and timings that they take and the confidence in which they take those fights, and it really does rattle some of these teams if they haven't played against a team like this. And listen, there's not many teams in the EMEA that are going to be playing like PRX.
And look at the amount of utility that Team Heretics are now conditioned to put into Mound. And PRX, they're going to start to spiral off in another direction. Benji Fishy has a good retake ultimate here, but he's in a fairly committed position on site. Not completely. How do they want to play this? There are 3 players ready to defend.
Round the back. Oh, it's watched for. 2 players. They're onto the corner. Someone yet doesn't get away with it. In fact, Forsaken, an attempt to at least grapple some control of the map. He's alone, though, doing so, and he will be falling. So, great opener now for Heretics.
And a change-up, right? They played that actually to hard anchor the site and flood defend instead of going for the retake. And I think mixing that up is probably going to be a bit of a win con for them. You don't want to count PRX out, though, still in a 3v5.
Smoke dropped. Where is Freak off to?
He's taking risks, exploring over towards Heaven.
Something with the op! He just peeks into that. I mean, Heretics are playing that with the most discipline, the utmost discipline. 2 players. At least going to be trying to get into position to trade this one here forwards. They hear it, the dash. And now with the lockdown placed down, it's all orchestrated in time. Something seems to go for it! That is ridiculous! Still, to his back here, plenty of players now rushing into it. No detainment, forwards, Miniboo taking a fight, and it is galvanizing, sticking onto the defuse, but a stray shot found. Half though, 1 and out, Miniboo, what a time to come alive!
Outrageous round from Miniboo. His team needed it. That was almost thrown away. Heretics were up in a 5v3. Mind Freak went wandering out through Heaven. He caught Boo, and something was producing magic with the operator on site. The first kill, he finds the timing, but the second kill, Benji knows he's there. Oh!
It's a jump spot as far as Jiggle to bait out the initial shot, and Miniboo, he saves the day.
It's this final one, to me, that's almost the most impressive of it, because he has to react to Divide being there and hit the headshot. So now we see more of this rubble pressure as we get into the round.
Yeah, we are in the thick of things.
Yep, something dashed out, already burnt that. Looking to try to take an operator shot early. And so Heretics have made this adjustment on the defense side. We are going to control rubble, even if it costs us the Mosh and the Dizzy at the beginning of the round. You know, we are just going to invest those. But I do like the way that Miniboo is rotating instantly after going for that stun at the start of the round. So they just make it feel like there's 3 players over towards A, and they still have the Neon ready to go for a push like this.
What's it called? Face it down with the smoke. Shot going wide there for something. Looking out with his life, or does he want to go for seconds? You can never really tell. Deep up position. Does Boo get spotted? Doesn't look like it. Yep, Monet's right behind him. There's no protocols in place for this one, and he's playing it patiently, really waiting it out. Could be a risk being played, but no, he's just lined it up for the 2, and they are beamed down. No chance with the spike dropped at his feet. Lovely gift just granted to him.
That's just a big mistake from Divide there, not using the dog to try to check up top. Not thinking about that. Something, despite getting the pick on Miniboo, is going to get cleaned up by that swing from Riens. That's one you do not see that very often. Teams not thinking about clearing top of rubble. Instant hit of the red button there. Alex, slam on the desk. Accidentally hit the timeout button. But, I mean, when you see situations like that, you do have to remind your team what's going on a little bit. And on top of that, too, I really feel like the way that Team Heretics are playing their defense macro is working here. That's another thing that Neil Zenio pointed out in what was a fantastically articulate coach interview, where he said, yeah, our fundamentals are missing, but also Boo lost control of the macro because everybody else is so frantic trying to take their own fights. And you need, a team like this in particular, needs one central idea. Yeah, maybe you can leave it to the decentralized nervous system of PRX the Octopus, right? You can let those kind of teams run a democracy of IGLs all meeting together in Athens to decide where they want to hit the site. But for Heretics, they need a hierarchy. They need a leadership figure that's going to put them all on the same path. And I think their game plan for the macro defense here is really good. They put pressure early towards Rubble. You're going to see it again here, I bet. You know, a stun, a smoke, the Mosh being used as well as a Dizzy. Rians picks up the Dizzy. Miniboo is already booking it over to C, expecting a reaction on the other side of the map. And, you know, if PRX decide to fight, Miniboo will stay.
Careful.
And this time, it looks like they want to fight with the showstopper. Heretics might have to be a little worried.
Divine with the Odin spam as well. It's going to be spamming a potential angle as well that they're going to cross themselves into. Here it is. Colliding, clashing. Battle lines drawn. Rocket set. Fly. No! Denied! And it's Heretics. They reign supreme. Don't you dare step forward towards a Rubble. Full territorial control.
But PRX are not going there again. If that was the round called by Alex, he will have been expecting a very different outcome. How on earth did Monya get so overwhelmed by Miniboo? Every time I watch Miniboo play the Neon, I am outrageously impressed at what he does. He somehow managed to dodge, duck, dip, weave his way. Look at him pushing there off the back of the Paranoia. He slides underneath Monya, shoots him.
One enemy remaining.
Right in the perineum.
Go big, yeah! Go big, yeah, right? You're getting glimpses there, potentially just a comp getting outvalued. I mean, you don't have the same tools to try and take a pound-for-pound fight towards Rubble control. And now Heretics with that in their back pocket, looking to condition again. Look at it, they sent similar util flying over towards the A side, but PRX have different ideas. They're in through B. Alarm bot, it's going into a completely different direction. Not sure what happened there with it! You're holding util into your hands. Paranoia forwards. Boombot, though, he's still the target. Boo is going out of there.
Boo was concerned about someone pushing even through the Viper wall. That's why he took so long to go for the TP. But it's left PRX 2v4. And the score tied at 4v4. This comeback from Heretics has been lovely, and it doesn't look like it's showing any signs of slowing down.
Wonderful beginning, especially for the defense side of Lotus.
Certainly.
You keep this this lead, this should be lead, you know, expecting it, and yeah, I mean, inevitable at this point.
There was a chance there. The Forsaken just slipped through him. Boo decided to watch something different, but he's on point with it. And PRX, again, it's these macro ideas that they're now starting to struggle with a little bit. This time, they're like, right, well, we're not going to fight Rubble, but if they're committing 3 players to A at the start of the round, we're going to try and take that early round timing and pounce somewhere else around the map. B seemed like a good idea, but they just weren't able to capitalize. Even with Rians peeking with utility in his hands. Paddy got a very fast response with that snakebite going down. And Monya, the final one left in 10 seconds. Just has his aim in the wrong direction. Heretics take the lead. And frankly, they've already done a spectacular job on their defense. And that's after going 4-1 down.
I need this.
Ult's building up for Heretics on top of it. It's all looking good.
Final bullet there that Patty decided to spray with, where he catches Mindfreak. Not quite sure if Mindfreak himself was vulnerable, but there was a snakebite down there to try to put pressure on the players getting in.
Squeeze being put on these PRX players. What will be the answer? Get away over towards C. Getting a move on, getting a bit of a jog on there. Dash now activated. Something. Updraft, forwards.
They've beaten Miniboo to the site.
Yeah, right into it, aren't they? Towards the back of the site now. The turret taken care of. Do they want to seek to try and fight this one? Surely Heretics might have some protocols. Listen to this. Look at this, man. Just straight through the gap. Something. Glides his way out of there. Plant now down. First kill. Advantage now for them, but Thrash in through. No, broken almost immediately there. And the Trip really doing the most to slow it all the way down. Trailblazer now being utilized. Device Spots 2 is going to be calling out for his team. Dizzy dealt with. Popped like a balloon straight into the sky here, but now it comes down to the gunfights, and something is unleashed entirely. Sky will not take no for an answer. Ace stolen away, but I don't think they care. It's a round on the board.
And finally, PRX find that early round timing. Right, they go over towards C at the beginning of this one and create themselves a lovely little angle for something to fight over. This one over the top of the smoke. Great stuff. And don't overstay their welcome either. Bit of anti-synergy, I think, in terms of Rian's utility as he went to try to retake. But PRX will be super happy about that. They can still make a serious go of this attack half.
Yeah, they certainly can. And everybody grouped up again over towards C. Listen, if it works, just keep running it. Apparently it's the PRX way.
Right, but this time Paddy is there so early, so there is going to be a vulnerable here.
Yeah, this is the adaptation here. Nana Swarm, vulnerable, applied with the Snakebite players. They are doubled up, moving towards it. Another flash here, just spots it as well. Glowing the halo ring around the head. And Benji, Fishy, beautiful with the movement. Offsets it just enough and sets himself up for another one, but still sprayed down. Mini boom! Oh my God! So good with it! Just impeccable stuff. And already anticipating the TP. Mindfreak reclaims the spike. The players, though, have scattered to the winds. They are expecting it towards A, towards B.
And this is where Mindfreak can absolutely freak their minds.
I was hoping you wouldn't say it.
But I mean, the mind games here genuinely are so huge, right?
Yeah.
Everybody on Heretics backs off, anticipating that Omen ult. And Mindfreak's tucked himself down over towards water. He's managed to engineer himself quite a good opportunity to win this.
Yeah, he has.
He will be facing against Mosh, Wingman on Diffuse, Paranoia, so Heretics, these are the players that didn't actually have to flood Defense C, so they still have a lot of util.
Shadows traveling.
First layer of it, Mosh, Diffuse, sticking through. No, 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 no. The bullets do not connect, but he stops it onto half. They still don't claim the kill. What is the call? Paranoia forwards, cuts off the sound cues. Rians, he's just sticking it. He knows he can. That is immaculate stuff by Heretics.
Beautifully done. Playing with the noise cues. And Heretics take themselves into the lead. So now PRX, from a macro perspective again, Brent, what do you go for? Because you thought the C hit was going to work. You thought you could beat the timing of Miniboo getting over to the C site. And instead, it's Patty who runs in to help Benji. And Patty, he just goes in there as a utility sponge.
Oh, yeah.
But it allows everybody else to focus on Patty, and Benji gets that little safe spot to be able to pick up two. Same again, 3 players, control rubble for the defense. Paddy immediately sprints over to try to help Benji, anticipating the C hit. But instead, PRX, okay, we're gonna go for the late round re-clear over towards rubble.
Making noise over towards C. I mean, it does pull all sorts of players over. Boo, skipping a hop, he has to just try and tuck his head in, and he does, just narrowly avoiding the knives, but he can't avoid the explosives. The bullets follow it. All the way up here. Now Rian's in position, way ahead of the curve. That's something.
Did not think anyone was home.
Eurocraft will reveal the location of a few of these players now. Still, they set themselves up into the post line. It's a good position for it, but when you, or at least Mindfreak has decided to play for backside on top of this box. Now, it's unusual, unorthodox.
Last time the retake came from stairs, sorry.
Is again, once more players doubled up. Forsaken will fall. Breaking the util though, back of the site. Removing one, still with the judge in hand. Not enough can be done here. Mindfreak has got so much more to do. Can't do it. Can't withstand it. Pit down. Doesn't cover the defuse entirely.
It's not a good pit.
The sound. Q forwards. Damage! Just about. And half on it. Plenty more time as well. So Heretics, that's a 7-5 finish here on the defense side of Lotus. They're going to be more than happy with that.
Yeah, they're going to be so pleased with what they've been able to put together. 4 out of 5 of the rounds for PRX were right at the start. Team Heretics win the pistol, and PRX break that, go on a run, and somehow Team Heretics are still able to get back into this.
And yeah, it all points towards it, the Heretics advantage. Well, we know they're going to be happy. Let's find out what the fans think.
Hola, gracias. Estamos aquí con la gente del barco para ver qué opinan del día de hoy porque es increíble. How does it feel to be in front of this crowd in your town supporting your team? ¿Cómo te sientes apoyando a tu equipo en tu ciudad con toda esta gente apoyando a tu equipo?
Solamente tienes que verlo. Hemos venido aquí a demostrar que Heretics va a ser el club más grande del mundo y de la historia y para eso se necesita una afición a la altura, y creo que en este evento está quedando claro quién es la mejor afición del mundo, porque sobre todo somos el sexto jugador de todos esos 5 jugadores que están ahí, que se están dejando el alma por nuestro escudo y van a levantar Masters Madrid en casa representando al mejor país del mundo y al mejor club de la historia.
They are here to show. They are here to show the world that they are the best fan base in the world, that this is the best country in the world, and that team is the best team in the world. Solo me queda pedirte una cosa después de estas palabras, y es que puedes animar a esta gente a que le dé la fuerza a Heretics que necesita para ganar este mapa.
Señoras y señores, ¿quiénes somos? ¡Heretics! Creo que con esto ya queda todo demostrado.
Pues eso es todo con la gente del barco. Yo que os lo devuelvo a vosotros, los casters. Gracias.
I got most of that.
Oh man, I wish I could speak Spanish. Because that chant was hype.
It was hype. Listen, the fans, but of course, are behind this team.
But I mean, I rolled a perception check there, 0. No understanding.
Yeah, but listen, you know they're excited, you know they're happy.
And they should be. This is a great position for Heretics to be in. Not the fact that they're down 0-1 in maps, obviously, but the fact that they put up 7 on the defense side and looking towards, on the horizon, a split where PRX looked a little dodgy with an unusual composition. Neil Zenio talk between map 1 and map 2 maybe becoming a thing of legends. We'll have to see if PRX have got something to say about that, though.
Done wonders for them. Now the Dizzy popped early here. Something removes it. Did have to use his dash, though, in response, because he didn't want to get overwhelmed, but there's no follow-up, no rush afterwards.
It's a fake presence over towards C Mound, right? When something fights over it like that, it makes it feel like there's a big stack over towards C, and instead, the trap play is Monya hidden in a corner on A. Yeah, and he's about to give away his position.
I think the flashbang, he's just opened the door, blinded up, and it's a complete collapse. I mean, listen, could go in either direction. Still, only 2 players left to stand. Withstand that kind of pressure. Boo's already snuck his way through, but he's being watched for. Understanding that fully, Benji, fishy, nade out and wide, but a couple of chances, but no dice, not with the kills here.
That is great. I love that pistol round play from PRX. Right, when you're on a pistol round and you see utility and presence over towards Mound, you're going to think that the stack is over there. And teams are normally going to play some kind of 1-1-3 on this map. And here, I mean, the frustration from Boo, because he realizes he just wandered straight into that trap play from PRX.
Important pistol round for PRX. That's a definite silence across the arena. Madrid not happy. Sets PRX up for a nice little slam dunk for the next round here. But okay, just slowly re-clearing out towards Mound now. Cam's going to be spotting it. Here we go with the judge. You should be able to absolutely eviscerate. Take your pick, Forsaken. Boo! Oh my, where's he pulled that from? Knife in the back pocket, shanking the opposition. But he's far. He's going for a knife of his own.
Oh, that's amazing.
What am I watching?
That's incredible. Has anyone told the players it's an elimination game? On yet? You realize your tournament life's on the line, buddy?
Oh.
Oh, I love how much fun PRX have with every game. It is so infectious. I mean, the knife play here makes sense for Boo, right? He knows that there's a play with the judge, just run out of bullets. That one is just mental.
Oh, Alex is pissed, man. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, God. You would not think it's an elimination match. No, you really wouldn't. So, bonus round setup. A lot of util now. An explosion out towards A rubble with the walls across themselves. Up in the counter play. They want to try and fight this. What? A shot nailed it with the damage. The nade on top. It's all being overlapped and through and found. So many kills. Offlowing. PRX on fire with it. Benji. A nice go of things, but not enough to withstand the pressure. And oh my, oh my, oh my. That is a wonderful round to win here for PRX. That's a bonus round conversion.
Yeah, that's monumental for PRX. Being able to crush Team Heretics there so decisively, their economy is about to get out of control. And it also sets that fear into Heretics. Okay, we're not actually going to be able to contest Rubble. How? How have we failed to take Rubble against a team that, you know, is playing double duelist with a Cypher here? But they still have quite a lot of tools to go with, and they're willing to fight. They're willing to commit bodies.
Something might be able to just clean up here. Yeah, okay, despite the fact that he was blinded up, goop on his face. Angle played by Forsaken, he's stunned. They don't expect it. They don't expect it, yet they still find the shots. Forsaken, a bit of whiffage in play.
Go, go, go.
Reclaimed a gun, actually. That's a massively important one.
That shot was very close to connecting. Miniboo does only have 125 health. That's going to take some of the damage out of picking up that Phantom, I think. No matter how good your aim is.
Trailblazer sees two. That's a call now for the Paranoia player. Has to be used in response to try and push them back, but they want to push it and re-clear it. Together now, Angles watch. Miniboo, you're the most to do. Maybe you can really stand and deliver the result you're expecting here. That is the danger when you hand this guy a rifle.
He's been so incredible. 15-9, but just winning enormous impact frags.
Cool, calm, and collected with the aim. Hands it over as well. Knows that he's the lowest player. Now he's going to be the bait being played forward. Something! Oh, hopes and dreams dashed to the winds there.
And all of the tension sucked out of the round in a moment. That's the power of the Outlaw. I don't think we've seen a double kill like that in a high-pressure round from the Outlaw particularly, but those bang, bang, down they went. HyperX are definitely the team that's trying to use this gun the most. You see Forsaken something using it fairly often.
Yeah.
Coming into the next round though, full armor on everybody for Heretics. So they're not falling into the trap of ruining their economy, but if they lose this, they're potentially in a death spiral.
There's someone watching it. Trying to take a timing there with the shots. He is pretty isolated. What are you doing?
That's mad.
What's going on here?
Hello?
Opens the door. Plenty of players. There's a punish. What? Just snaps onto him.
Oh, that's what he was doing.
Oh, that was what he... Oh, okay, he was just cheating for a second. Okay, yeah, no, I get it. Okay, Thrash clearance through into the site. They know it's open now, but something towards the back of it again. Can be cleared. Traded eventually. Remove this guy. Pesky. Problem into the back of the site. Yeah, 3 players.
Miniboo's pushed up. Has the potential for a 1v1.
Boosters. Heretics are winning their fights out the necessary ones. Rifles in the hands of these players. Locked down through. We're going to be forcing these PRX players. They've got to take a faster time in, and this is only 4 seconds. They're going to get detained. Forsaken. There's nowhere to watch.
I mean, to be honest, if he had been detained there, would anyone have even known where he was? Mindfreak opens the door in a 1v3, but it does not look winnable. Thrash goes just to clear out his position too.
Over the top. Hello. Open door. Open sight line.
I mean, he's got 2 fish to dodge in this round.
Miniboo's already on the flank. Look at it. He's rapid. Right behind him, so not even going to get the chance to save this rifle, or in all likelihood, there's no way Mindfreak expects it. He doesn't.
Not at all. And how are we about to praise Team Heretics for such a great recovery when the round began by something? Being able to get 2 kills with an Outlaw in a position where you just would not expect somebody to get any. Look at that. Look at that shot. And this one, a bit more of a gimme because Paddy Tech did swing right into the crosshair. And they got the punish early on. From there, Riens and Miniboo just holding positions, able to pick off both sides of that pincer retake. And PRX are going to take a timeout here after only losing 1 round. I'm not exactly sure what Alex will have spotted. Maybe he didn't like the call for the next round coming up. Maybe he was wanting to adjust the macro a little bit.
Yeah,
thought that
maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe he's just telling something to tone it down.
It's possible.
Stop toggling. It's getting too obvious.
I doubt he'll have been telling him that.
No. Of course not.
But here we go. There's a lot of tension in this game now. Because as much as we are getting, as viewers, rewarded by displays of magnificent individual talent, the tension for Team Heretics in particular is raised. They've only been able to put 1 round together on their attack side. Normally this map is attack-sided. Yeah. We were talking about how much we favored them going into the next half when they were 7-5 up.
Talking about that tension. Palpable in the arena right now. It's like we're back in Sao Paulo.
Yeah. The fans that are here are willing Heretics to make a deep run. They talked about it seemed fated that Heretics got to Madrid. Nobody was expecting this team to go out 0-2. But if PRX get another 4 on the board, that is going to be the reality.
Pinged just an outline of a rubble with 4 players stacking. The guns aren't ideal. But they're holding for a refight attempt here. Yeah, and okay, it's baited out. Team Heretics seem to be aware of that fact, and now they are just making a great pilgrimage over towards the other section of the site. The other side, which Forsaken is holding with just a shorty. Benji Fishy going to be familiar with the double pump, but I think they'll be able to navigate it.
The question for Heretics in a more general sense on their attack side is, when PRX go for an aggressive stack like that, do we try to punish it by playing quick ourselves?
Oh, stunned. Cage! Bullets going wide.
Because I think what you saw there is they add a pause into the round, just in case it's a stack on C. And they're rewarded for it.
Oh yeah. Players dropping like flies now. Of course, the weaker buy for them, but this is going to be evened up in terms of the rounds. Rifle has to be safe for something.
Yeah, he could actually send this one and build up to his ultimate, but he's going to decide to play it a little more cautiously. Not allow the ult cycle on the attack side to start building. PRX there decided to go for a re-clear of rubble without the neon wall being used. And I think if there's going to be any cue as to where Heretics are fighting at the beginning of the rounds, I would use the neon wall as a really big deciding tell.
Just the indicator.
Yeah, because I really don't think Miniboo's going to be sending it very often from the games that I've watched without there being something behind it. Throws it there as a little victory. Victory wall.
Cuts off some of the sidelines. Will something keep the rifle? Yeah. So
I think they are going to struggle a little bit holding onto this C site if only Forsaken is going to play there. I would imagine. I mean, let's start here. The Cypher's very good against the Neon in general. The Trips are looking to try and find really big value, any kill trip kind of setups. But I think usually you're going to want to put one of them for some kind of like mid-control or info towards another site. And I also think Heretics are just slow and diligent enough to clear common positions.
Interestingly enough, the Trips, I mean, laid down the B site.
Yeah.
Happy with something just holding space towards Mound. He was pre-firing for the Dizzy, but it wasn't sent flying. Turret in the one-way. This will give them a good indicator. Has to get broken. And Boo is on a high ground angle. This guy will be able to see the exit across the site if somebody decides to play out of that Mound area. Not quite.
Yeah, the angle just watching the push up.
Yeah.
And I think something's more likely to go for that if Team Heretics put any pressure towards A, but they've been silent on that side of the map.
The Dizzy's there, Paranoia with the stun. I mean, beautiful util. Can't fault that side of Heretics' game. Deeply familiar with it at this point.
But again, Heretics don't go for something quick off the back of it. Once they gather information, they're trying to slow the round down and pick the right site. Against a team like PRX, though, who are happy to gamble, that can be a little
wait
dangerous.
a second. False information, Mindfreak cancels. Did he hear the shots being fired at him? Seekers now through the wall. This is going to be breaking the door. Let's create an opening here. Mindfreak might just get to overpon.
It's 20 seconds, Brent. This is too slow from Heretics.
And yeah, still has a nade as well. They want to go to B. They want to go to B. Did they clear the corner? Yes, they do. Aware of it.
Trips.
Trips, though. Exactly so. Oh, my God. That's precarious. Adjustment. Nasty with the spray. Something is looking beautiful with it. Odin spraying potential there with a neural effect, just pointing out these targets, lighting them up. Can they find it? Still scattered, dashing forwards, at least with the satchel in flame on. Yeah, it's forwards. He wins his fight out. Benji in Remain. At least a spike is planted for him, but it's a 1v2. 1v2. Nano Swarm, slow it down still. He might have to just hit an absolute worldie. The time pressure, it's against these PRX players. Munyet sticking, kill, needs to be found, half on it, defuse already gained! And a real chance for PRX. They land their shots. It was favoured for them anyway in that particular spot, and a lead regained.
Too slow, I think, from Heretics in this round.
I may have down to
Trying to get into a site with only 20 seconds left added so much danger. You know, even with Riens being able to pick up Mindfreak there, they're going into a trip setup. Sure, something does hit. An unbelievable 2K there. Outrageous. But just on the balance of things, there was so much danger for them to navigate in that kind of situation. And I do love the way that PRX played that retake up through heaven, diving Munyet in and swinging behind with an Odin.
Last day, it's the call's made. Gonna hit this U-turn now, Forsaken. playing up close to the tree. He's got an Odin spam. He's waiting for the door to be popped. Here, pops the cage. Doesn't feel like he can really play that position. Now there's a kill trip set up on the one side of the site. Stuns. Wrestled through. It's Forsaken in a spot to really punish this kill trip if somebody does walk into it.
I think so. It's from heaven.
But doesn't look likely. Trailblazer. Push the players back. Backside control. Now a fight towards Rubber once more, actually, with that flash. Now the thrash.
Can Benji stop these guys?
That's going to be the question. Benji right towards the back there, updraft to avoid at least the detainment, but it doesn't entirely. He's going to be locked up, restricted, restrained. Devi just catching a bullet straight to the head. The spam by Forsaken. Again, this looks like just again an even round for Heretics. Earn themselves up to 10. The call has to be made here, and they will back away, so PRX giving it up. Back and forth we go.
And Team Heretics, they tie it up 10-10. I just want to explain a little bit about how difficult the macro calls are when you play against a team like PRX. We've seen Heretics are trying with Boo at the IGL position to figure out what the setup looks like and then try to slow the round down enough to make sure they're making the right call. This round, they decide, well, PRX are just kind of rotating around the map to figure out where we are in gambling. So let's just send it A. Let's increase the pace. Let's not bother with these slower pace rounds, and let's just try to overwhelm them and hope that they're not force stacking A for some random reason. And this time, the stack isn't there, they get in onto the A site, everything goes cleanly. Can you imagine if they ran that, and PRX just decided to fight Rubble there? Would have been a totally different situation. And now PRX going for the mound presence. So once more, Heretics looking pretty good with this Rubble control.
Second Yoda, no, this time I don't think it's going to be pushed back so easily. Here's it, door switched. Oh my god, the guns! Running and gunning does not win it out. Knives in the face of Benji Fishy, couple in the chest. We'll
and that's
drop
big,
it.
that's big. Benji shut down both the duelists in the previous round when they went for that flank. So now Team Heretics have to either push forwards to get control somewhere else, or set somebody else up to watch behind.
Might be their aim. Heal online, something. Back up to 100. Doubled up position, holding in the pit. Boo is low though. Slight breeze might just topple him over. Here we go, a rapid offense approach into it, not clearing the corner, not expecting it. And really only just spotting the one, they're not gonna expect the second, surely not. Here, through into tree, Satchel back and away, Boo. Again, as I said, he's low enough, still wins his fight, and Heretics regaining that lead right back.
Going for a post plant setup there with two in pit. A little bait and switch. Taking that space forwards on the site instead of all getting stuck inside tree. And PRX didn't send anyone heaven. They all went through stairs or through into sight. Nobody going heaven to try to clear out pit. And once again, Boo finds a really important duel against Monyet.
Everything being invested into this round. You can see it already. It's a C-take with the util.
Monyet's in position to break a lockdown.
TV into the back. He sticks it. He sticks it. Boo is in so much danger. That's a rifle given up. Judge close quarters into the action once more. It's C. Trips. Not quite dealt with. Moshpit as well. Pushes them back and away. Surely you break this. Surely you break this, and you do. Spike not planted.
And now that Monyet's dead, Benji can go for the lockdown.
Do just that. Drops it down. It's necessary at this point. PRX seeking to try and gain an advantage, seeking to try and take the fights before they're set up and ready. They're the ones getting punished. Two still left standing.
Welcome to my
What can I do with the guns? What can I do with the guns into the pit?
If PRX manage to find some angles that work for them, perhaps they can get lucky. Benji would die to just some random blasts in there.
Yeah, and the Judge might be the perfect gun for the job, to be honest with you. Glides up, close, forwards, here, can't land it, can't snap and adjust it. Mind Freak, spamming away. Beautiful pit as well, it covers every single possibility. And even just trying to save the operator, Benji knows that's his time to strike. Up to 12, Heretics can feel it. This is their lifeline, this is their chance to continue the series.
The last couple of rounds, I really feel like Monyet has had a couple of chances to be able to pull things through and win this map for PRX. And instead, you saw him lose a duel to Boo, trying to retake that position over towards tree, and in this round, doesn't find the timing to use his showstopper, when it would have been game-altering and propelled his team forwards.
The money dire now for PRX. Turning point in the map. This round right here. Guardian purchases. Here in the setup, push back, doesn't activate the dash. He's really going to try and overstay as well, potentially. Looks to get rid of that terribly. Can't. There it is. Finds it. Heretics are going to be throwing a bit of caution into the mix here, I think. They're worried about the showstopper that Monier's holding in his back pocket.
The more time they tick off the clock, though, it could be a round-winning play. You know, if they end up going for a hit with 25 seconds left, Monier's in the right position, it's game over. Throughout this all as well, Rien's his attack side opping. I assume he has a rifle there too. It's just that they want to hold this really slow pace. Normally teams will start moving at about the minute mark, which is just past. You see Heretics take a little bit of rebel control, starting to group up. Rien's ultimate here would be huge.
Into Monier though. Cross-section with the walls.
And the time is ticking.
They're backing away.
Something is still at Mound. They've never dealt with this.
40 seconds.
This is the problem with playing so passively. They haven't taken any map control. They haven't forced PRX back. At least Moniet is on the other side of the map, but something is right here.
Slows the dash too. Here it is, head found, popped, right off. Where's the next one? Won't get it, but still he evacuates. He's out of there. Buy some time for the rest of his team. Thrash will try and lay the groundwork, at least a bit of pavement for this team to follow through, at least walk up back onto it. Entertainment, not there, updraft forwards. Mini boot. In the danger zone, 12 seconds left. Where is this plant, and is it coming online at any time soon? They're choosing. They want to try and push all the way through. Monien to the back wall. He didn't get seconds. No way. Everybody's fallen. Time. They're getting with kills. Continuation. Extension of play. Heretics not willing to go out so early.
This match deserves a map 3, and we will be headed to split. How have they managed to pull that round, of all of them, across the line? Baiting PRX into going for the denial of the plant and getting the punish down.
That is ridiculous.
The showstopper just threaded the needle through to nowhere.
Absolutely insane stuff. Well, guess what? One more map to go. Elimination on the line. PRX or Heretics. Who will we be sending home? Finding out after this.